Hi, this is Brian from Provision Studios, and today I'm going to do a video on the basically the analysis of the uh, Canon VIXIA HF G60 and the Canon VIXIA HF G50. I've done some tests with both cameras over the last couple months. The G60 I've had it for a little over a month, and the G50 I've had for several months. So I just wanted to make a video that basically goes over some of the key features and functionalities of both cameras that I find uh, interest me, that I think will give any of my subscribers, based on some of the questions you guys have asked me, some clear indication as to which camera would be the better in which scenario. All right, so as I've discussed a lot previously, the G60 has the 1-inch sensor, and the G50 has about a half-inch sensor. So there's a big difference there in regards to low light capabilities. Um, Also in the quality that you get with the image. So there is a difference with the two cameras just on the sensor size alone. Um, Another result that I previously wasn't sure about, but I just shot some footage and it became clear to me that was a big difference between the two cameras, was the image stabilization. When I first got the G60 and I did a quick walk around in my yard with both cameras, I really didn't see that much of a difference in the image stabilization. Um, so I thought it would be best if I did not a one camera in each hand test, but basically I did a standalone or an isolated test, giving the G60 the opportunity to have a similar stabilization test to that I did with the G50, which was done on this Ziadio handheld uh, holder. So basically, this has the capability to screw the camera in like so, and then you can walk around with it just like this, and it allows you to put some other attachments, a microphone, a light, what have you, on this, um, and to give you a little bit more stability in your holding of the camera. So you're not holding it like this and it gets tiring. You actually can hold it like this and do things with it that you really wouldn't be able to do if you were holding it with the side handle of the camera. So I had originally done a stabilization test on the G50 with the Ziadio hand mount, and I hadn't done it with the G60. So anyway, over the weekend, I put the camera on the Ziadio and went out and did a walking around of my yard with both the standard and a dynamic image stabilization, with great results. So I was very pleased with how the G60 performed there. Um, I also have used the G60 at my job, where I work for an equine livestock and pet company, where we go out in the field and we do various video productions to help promote articles, products that we sell, and just general information to the public on animal health and wellness. So the G60 is a camera that I have been able to actually take out on a couple recent video projects and use this camera to shoot some of these video shoots that I otherwise would not have been able to do with my own gear, because I don't go out personally and do these types of shots. Um, uh, so I really didn't have the capability of taking the G60. If I didn't bring it to work, I would have had the opportunity to take the G60 and use it on some of the shots that I have recently been able to. And the G60 really has done a great job on some of these video shoots that I've done, and it has really uh, solidified my decision that if you take both of these cameras and you tell yourself, um, if 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 I take a price out of the equation, if that's not a factor in my determination, which camera is better, and it's not just because of the 1-inch sensor. It's not just because of the capability of recording in C-Log 3, um, but the image stabilization is superior. Um, the Some of the other features is that it's actually a larger camera. Therefore, it actually gives you better feel while you're videoing, or you're actually using the camera in a handheld style. It actually gives you better control over what you're shooting because it's not as light. It also has manual ND filters that the G50 really doesn't have. The G50's ND filters, although they are on this camera, they are sort of controlled by your aperture. So you have to put your aperture at f4 or below in order to get the ND filters to turn on. With the G60, all you have to do is hit either one of these buttons here, and you can dial in the type of ND filter that you need to get the proper exposure for your outdoor footage. Both cameras have auto and manual mode, so there's nothing beneficial from one over the other there. And the audio actually is better on the G60. The audio, how it records here with the microphone on top, as opposed to the double microphone here. The G60 actually does record better audio. Outside of that, both cameras really, they both perform well, regardless of what you're trying to shoot, as long as they are both on a tripod. The auto focusing on the G50 is a contrast based autofocus, and it really was my main issue with this camera. It wasn't the size or not being able to shoot in C-Log 3 or the sensor or the ND filter. All of that stuff I was able to work around with how I use a camera. The the fact that this camera would hunt for focus really made it difficult for me to depend on it. The G60, on the other hand, has Canon's famous dual pixel autofocus, and it is superb. I have done several action sequences at my job with this camera, and I could not ever get it to lose focus. Not that I tried, but I'm just saying with the G50, I would be outside, uh, focused on a subject that is far off, with touching the object on the screen to sort of lock in that focus, and have this on a tripod, and the G50 would still occasionally hunt for focus. I even did a video with this recently, a low light test, and I had it and the G60 right next to each other, had the lights turned down, and with the G60 locked in on the item, the G50 would begin hunting for focus. So that is perhaps the biggest difference between the two cameras outside of the sensor. Um, so that dual pixel autofocus really is a major upgrade over the two cameras. So I think that needs to be mentioned. Um, even if you are locked down on a tripod and you've got good lighting and you are um, uh, using the proper exposure for the scene, there is no guarantee that the G50 is not going to go out of focus. It may be temporary. It may be just once or twice in a shot, but there's always a chance that this camera may hunt for focus right in the middle of a shot. So that kind of made it hard for me to recommend this camera to anyone. I know I've had a lot of you guys ask me which camera. Um, I'm actually right now trying to sell the G50. I want to get back what I've spent on this camera. It's still fairly brand new. It's hardly even been. It's never been off my property, and it certainly has never been out in the elements. So this camera is still brand new, and I'm selling it as such. I'm asking $900 for this camera. You can email me if you're interested. The G60 is a great camcorder, 4K camcorder by Canon. It has a lot of features that the G50 has, and it has a lot of features that the G50 doesn't have. I feel like I've covered them over the last several videos I've done, and I feel really good about looking at anyone face to face, eye to eye, and telling them that if I were them, I would buy the G60 uh, 10 times out of 10. Regardless of what type of video you're shooting, what you need a camcorder for, I feel strong in saying that the G60 will get you what you want quicker than the G50 in either auto or manual mode. You have less things you got to mess with. For one, once you touch you touch focus, you're good to go. That's locked down. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about the G50 hunting in the middle of a shot. So and many of the other things that I've discussed in this video that the G60 will give you that the G50 can't. The peace of mind of knowing that when you hit record on this camera, you're going to nail the shot as long as you got your exposure set properly, really lets me go out, whether I'm doing my own personal shooting or I'm taking this with me at my job and I'm doing some highly critical high-speed action shots. This camera is going to nail it. It's going to make it look great, and I'm going to be able to slow my footage down and get some really excellent looking slow motion type footage. This is the camera. The G60 nails it. The G60 was the camera I wanted all along. Once I first started going down this, wanting to upgrade from my Sony AX53, which is the camera I'm shooting this with. When I wanted to upgrade my Sony, this was the camera I wanted all along. I was looking for a camcorder that was a 4K camcorder that had manual mode. The AX53 does not. So I was looking for basically an upgrade to the Sony. Not that the AX53 is not a great camcorder. I love this thing. This in all if you really want a super simple camera that is going to get a great shot, the AX53 is that camera. I just like to have a little more control. I've advanced in my video capabilities in the last couple years, and I was ready to start getting more out of my footage. Be able to have more cinematic style footage instead of sort of what you're locked in with the AX53. Anyway, the G60 is that camera. This camera is a really good buy. It's got some great features on it. And I'm even thinking about getting a bigger gimbal to put this on. I have a Zhiyun crane that the G50 goes on, and I've shot footage with this on the Zion crane, and it comes out really, really nice. Really, really nice. Very pleased with that. The G60 is too big. I cannot get this on the Zion crane. So I'm looking at getting another gimbal, a larger one that this can fit on. And if that is in fact what I do, end up doing, I will make videos with this on that gimbal, so you guys can see, how this camera can even go a step above what you're able to accomplish with this on like a hand mount. If you are looking for the best bang for your buck, and you aren't scared to spend a little bit of money, I'm telling you, go with the G60 and don't even think twice about it. It is going to get you results that the G50 will not allow you to get. And again, that is not to say that the G50 is a bad camera. If Canon had not made the G60, if it was out of the picture, was not an item that was in the market, I would own the G50 and I'd be fine with it. I'd feel good about the price I paid for it. I'd feel good about the footage I shoot with it, and I would find a way to work around certain limitations that this camera has. But because Canon went out and put a 1-inch sensor into this camera and added the C-Log 3 capabilities and put in the dual pixel autofocus and really, in my opinion, improved on the stabilization, there is a difference. The stabilizer is better in the G60. This is the camera that is worth every penny that they they charge for it. And I feel confident saying that to you. There's no doubt in my mind that if you had both cameras, this is the one. The G60 would be the one that's going to be your winner too. Okay? If you guys have any question or comments about what I've shared here today, or anything that I've shared in the past, feel free to leave a comment or a question in the comment section below. Or you can always email me at bbuck822@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll be making some more videos here in the future. I have a test I'm going to be doing with the G60 for some outdoor footage, where I'm going over some quality issues. I shouldn't say issues isn't the right word. Some quality so some good ways to get improved quality with this camera. That's the best way to say it. I've got a couple things I want to share with you guys that I've discovered in the last couple times I've taken the G60 outdoors and done some night footage. So I have videos coming soon. Thank you all for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy holidays. And if I don't make a video before New Year, Happy New Year to you all as well. Bye now.